what happens is that I've seen challenges like a person who is suicidal, okay, has come to me, and in two session the person's that suicidal thought went away for it.
Great.
Okay, um, women women who have come with problems of the periods and everything of different things, okay,
Mm-hmm.
has also got resolved in many ways, right? So that is one example. Many other things have got resolved. There is no limit to say that what kind of problems will get resolved. Any kind of problems can get resolved.
Mm-hmm.
What is important is that what do you do after the healing?
Hey, everybody, and welcome back to one more awesome episode of the Achievers Club podcast show. And in this particular episode, we have one more awesome guest named Swaminathan, and he's someone who is a life coach, and he's also a certified DNA Theta Healing Instructor from Think Institute. And along with that, he focuses on the overall well being of human nature, that is, health, wealth, relationship, and other aspect of life as well. And into this particular episode, we have discussed about how someone can heal themselves, and not just that, but why healing is required into this particular era of, you can consider, post era of 2020, and why healing is important for every single individual, not just for themselves but for their overall environment as well. And we have also discussed about how someone can raise their vibrations, raise their energy on themselves, and along with that, how they can achieve the goals which they want to achieve into their life. So please do make sure that you're watching this particular episode till the end. You are taking full notes, and you're also enjoying this particular episode not just with yourself but with your overall family, because everybody in this particular episode, like, everybody is going to learn a lot from this particular episode. So please do make sure that you're not just taking this particular notes for yourself, but you're also learning together with your family, because the family which learns together grows together. That's what I believe in, and that's what I've learned from my mentors. So please do make sure that you're watching this particular episode from the beginning till the end. You're taking full notes, and let's begin with this particular episode. Hey, Swaminathan, thank you so much for tuning in on our podcast show in the form of guest. It's an honor for me that you are here. Finally, we are doing this podcast. How are you doing?
Thank you. I'm doing great. Thank you so much for this opportunity, Sahil, and it's a pleasure to be
Thank
here.
you so much. And today we are going to discuss about the healing part, and the audience is also going to get a lot of deep answers, because you are the person whom I know since last 1 year, and you are internationally certified. So I feel that the audience is going to get to the point answers, and not just answers, but the things which they can implement in their life so that they can heal themselves, and they can also heal their surrounding people, and completely they can shift the trajectory of their life. So, getting back to the very first question, which I do ask to all the guests, is that who is Swaminathan, for the very new audience, so that audience can understand that what is the overall value which they are going to get for the next 30 minutes to 1 hour.
Okay, thank you. So, Swaminathan is an identity I have now, and and as a part of that identity, I'm an energy healer and I'm an instructor. I teach Theta healing,
Mhm.
and also I'm an intuitive life coach.
That's
Uh,
great.
in addition, I'm also a learning consultant, but primarily I'm an energy healer and an instructor, and that is what
Mhm.
I do.
That's great. And we will also discuss about energy part, because this is what I learned few days back, is that money is equals to energy.
Yes.
And as we are doing this podcast, my niche is also into money part. So most of the audience who is watching this, they are also gonna learn about how they can raise their energy, and we are also gonna discuss about that. So the very first question, except the introduction part, would be that what is the actual importance of emotions in our life? Because I feel that human beings are the only beings in this world and this planet who have emotions. Except us, none of the animals or none of the species have emotions. So, what is the role of emotions in our life?
Okay, emotions plays everything. Now we have a certain emotion. We wake up
Mm-hmm.
in the morning, we have a certain emotion, and
Mm-hmm.
then we go to some place, we meet somebody, we have a certain emotion. We are either happy, sad, okay, angry, or we are in a very depressed state, okay, or we have all different forms of emotion. So emotions are what we are humans are made up of,
Mm-hmm.
and that is what is shown. So now it depends from person to person what kind of emotion a person depicts.
Okay.
Okay, and it depends upon the energy the person can carries, the, the way the energy is flowing in the person's body, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that's how it works, and that is what is all different forms of emotions we carry,
Mm-hmm.
and it has a lot of other reasoning of why we carry a certain emotion and what.
Okay. So to make it absolutely clear, based on our energy, the current situation, the energy which we have, whether it is in the positive state or the negative state, that depicts whether our emotions are going to be positive or not.
Yes.
All right. So let's assume there is an individual who is right now at the neutral stage of energy, or else they are in the negative zone, because now I feel that by observing hundreds and thousands of people in our country and worldwide also, that youngsters nowadays are feeling lonely. They're not feeling alone, but they are feeling lonely. This is the word which is uh, like you can consider the most popular nowadays, that I'm feeling depressed, I'm feeling lonely. So how do we get out of those emotions? How do we raise that energy?
Yes, so I think the important aspect to start with, I would say, is that it's okay to take help.
Mm-hmm.
It's okay to take help. It's okay to go and talk to somebody if you're feeling a certain way. The a person is feeling lonely because majorly due to the self-worth. The
Maybe due
person
to
is not feeling self-worthy. Okay.
self-worthy. Okay. Mm-hmm.
Maybe he's feeling unworthy of something, or he feels that he is not capable of doing something, and then he goes and corners himself or herself, right? So what is important at that point of time is to go and talk to somebody whom you trust,
Okay.
or take in help from different therapies, and that can shift the energy. The other reason for feeling lonely, which we will be repeating multiple times in this podcast, is you feel lonely because you want to become something which you are not.
True.
In the sense, in the sense that you want to, you have seen somebody, you have started to compare somebody with somebody, and you want to be that person, and you're not able to become that person, and then you also start feeling lonely and uh, unworthy, which is
Okay.
not required,
Mm-hmm. And
right?
even I feel after COVID itself, because of going through Reels and Instagram, a lot of people do post only flashy things, and even there are a lot of social media managing. I think what do we call? I don't remember the full form of SMMA. They are the agency owners. They manage the social media. Even she is very good friend of mine, and she mentioned that uh, even though I do manage a lot of people's social media handles and all, but social media is something which is completely based on success part. People don't show their struggle, people don't show their failure part, and that is why uh, even as a social media owner, as a social media handle, like we handle those things, and also we have to showcase that as well, because people want those things, right? So I feel that because of those flashy things and attractive things, people are getting distracted, and they are getting out of that space where they feel worthiness of themselves. And even I feel that everybody is unique in themselves, and they have some or the other capabilities in them. And just by looking at somebody else, we should not feel unworthy that I don't have that money, I don't have that car, or I don't have that house. Because internally, I feel like whatever result we want to create in our life, first we create in our mind, in our internal self, then only we can create in the external self. And that's what I feel, right? Anything else which you would like to add on this?
No, I mean, if you talk about the mobile phone, okay, we
Mm-hmm.
can have a one whole new podcast and the collaboration, the relation of energy with that. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
the point is that we need to see that the device which is in your hand, okay, has it caged you? Has it, is the device driving you, or are you driving the device? You
Okay.
know, so are
Mm-hmm.
you holding the distraction in your hand? So when you go to a public place, or say you're going to meet somebody, if you're holding a mobile phone in your hand, okay, and you're seeing that, it gives a different depiction to other person, right?
Yes.
So that plays a very vital role. Where you're carrying that mobile, is that mobile really needed, or
Mm-hmm.
are you driven by it, or it is driving you? Even that plays a vital role, and that is one of the major reason also these days for this loneliness.
Mm-hmm. And as you mentioned about the self-doubt, unworthiness, and all,
Yes.
so I think mobile device, other gadgets, social media are one aspect of it. What are the different, like, what are the other aspects except the social media part, except mobile part, except gadgets and other things? What are the different aspects which are playing a major role in an individual's life who is letting that self-doubt get even more deeper so that we can remove those?
Okay. Uh, the major reason would be the conditioning, what the conditioning the person has.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So there are different kinds of beliefs. A belief which we have acquired when we are born in this life, okay,
Mm-hmm.
from our childhood. A belief that has come to us genetically, okay, blessed
Mm-hmm.
DNA wise, a belief that we are carrying from past lives, history, different
Okay.
lifetimes, and a
Uh-huh.
belief and a different belief that we carry for this whole soul what we are.
Okay.
So there are four kinds of belief. Core, genetic, history, and
Genetic history.
soul level beliefs. So
Mm-hmm.
all these beliefs comes together and creates what we are trying to do.
Okay.
Okay. For example, I would like to just tell you a story. Now this self doubt is also one of the emotional baggage what a person has, right?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And people carry a lot of different emotions. Self doubt is one of it, right? And there
Yep.
are different, all other different kinds of emotional baggage the person is carrying, and and the person doesn't know about it. Okay,
Yep.
I would like to tell you a story which was channeled to me when I
Mm-hmm.
was doing a healing session. Uh, the story goes like this: when you are born in the childhood, okay, you grow up, and then you're about to go to the school.
Yep.
Okay. So the moment you go to the enter the school, your parents, your mother or father, with great love, and for thinking about your best,
Yeah.
what they say. Suddenly, it happens that, okay, why are you not like that? See, he's studying well. Are you studying well?
Yes.
Okay.
Mm.
It starts with that comparison.
Okay.
Okay.
Comparison first.
Now, this comparison naturally and subconsciously leads to competition.
Okay. First is comparison. It leads to competition.
Competition. Okay.
Yep.
And so this competition, eventually, the person will become very competitive. Everybody are feeling happy about it. The person is very competitive in the school itself. Okay. And after a point of time, this leads to criticism. The third C. Then
Criticism.
he criticize. Oh, what he will criticize? Either he will criticize the other person whom he is competing with, or he will criticize himself or herself.
Yes.
Right? The three C's. Now, the moment you have criticized, you are growing. You've grown up. You've gone to the work. Imagine. So the situations are repeating. You're holding that same pattern and you're repeating. And after that, what happens? You get into the moment you criticize somebody, you are resentful of that person.
Okay.
Resentment. The
Mm-hmm.
resentment comes in. The moment the resentment comes in, okay, there is a series of regret
That's true. You can go deeper into this also.
and regret. So the moment, okay, you feel regret that something I'm not able to do. I've not done that. Okay, why the hell he's doing like this? Why the hell I'm doing like that? And all those stuff, right?
Mm-hmm.
Resentment and regret. The moment you went to regret, now you're regretting something. You expect certain things, and then you get into rejection mode. You reject yourself. The moment you either you reject yourself or you reject the whole world and corner yourself. One of the reasons. The
Mm-hmm.
moment you reject yourself, okay, you see that the whole world is against you. You might feel like that,
Yes.
okay, and then you get into a revenge mode.
Okay.
You know, have revenge, being completely into revenge mode. So what happens is now the story is this. This is called the vicious cycle, and this is all the emotional. baggages which a person is carrying. The three C's and the four R's. The three C's being, comparison,
Comparison
competition,
and
criticism,
criticism.
and the four R's are resentment, regret, rejection, and finally the revenge. If you fall into this trap completely, then you're stuck in that same vicious cycle, you know, or you can choose to be
On the positive
different
side.
way, right? Now the choice is yours. So, what matters, what emotional baggage a person is carrying, depends upon, are you stuck in this vicious cycle, or we need to unlearn, relearn. We are talking about that more often these days,
Yes.
right? We need to understand that the intent which was told, that, or are we shifting, are we working on ourselves, to shift these beliefs. And these are the series of belief system what is creating our life.
Totally.
Okay, and this leads to a series of actions or the outcomes that we face in our daily life or receive in our daily life, right?
Yes.
So what is important is this, and I'll tell you one secret. It is not a secret, but I will still say it as a secret. The secret is, this resentment we feel, we need to understand. I've seen this in my experience with so many of my clients. You resent the closest people very quickly.
Okay.
Like, you resent your mother, you resent your sister, you resent your father, you resent your brother. This is very natural,
And why is this so?
because they have high expectation on them, and then they want to do a little certain way, and then I'm attached to them completely, very closely, and then they are not doing that, then I'm not in acceptance of why they are not doing that. She's my mom, she's meant to do something in my way, and other, right?
Yes.
We want our space. Why not we let my mom, my dad be have their own space also, right?
Yes.
Vice versa, right? So this is what it becomes. This is what it creates, the whole outcome and the story of, what and how a person is living his life, of our life.
So simply saying, we are what our beliefs are all about.
Exactly, we are what our beliefs are. Our beliefs are making, our beliefs, a series of beliefs
Mhm.
are becoming a program in us, and we are running that program.
Okay.
Okay, so what happens is, when you age, you're driving, you're living in a certain series of way of doing things. Okay, and you're not able to break the pattern, and then what you do is that you accept that and give it up.
So this is
Or
what.
we can choose to shift
Mhm.
anything at any point of age. So shifting is not age relevant. We can do that at any age. I've seen that, because I have clients from the age of, I would say, from the age of 12 to the age of 72.
Age of 72. That's great. That's great. And as you mentioned about beliefs and about the emotional baggages also.
Yeah.
So what are the different level? We can't mention different levels, but different types of emotional baggages which a lot of people have in the current scenario. Because I feel that before the social media age, before this like knowledge world and all, the emotional baggages which we used to have, those were very less, or and now they have started getting even more deeper. Like they have deeper impact into our own life because of, as you mentioned, because of our own family members and other things also, because of the flashy things which we are watching on social media. So what are the different types of emotional baggages which you have currently observed in last 1, 2, or 3 years max?
Yeah. So as I told you, the major, the biggest baggage people carry is unworthiness.
Mm-hmm.
Unworthiness. Why unworthiness? Something has happened in my childhood, and I'm not ready to let go of it. And they don't know about it. Actually, they didn't know about it. You know.
Mm-hmm.
So the biggest baggage they are carrying is, I'm a victim. It's called, what is victim? Victim is called the poor me syndrome. It's called the poor me. Oh, poor me. Victim. I have got affected by this, and then that is what I am. I give the identity. I'm like that. I'm going to always be faced, and that comes the fear. That comes the role of fear. Victim. Oh, what will happen? What will happen? What? There are a lot of people who come to me, who talk to me on my daily life. Okay, now I'm able to differentiate a lot of things. Who comes and, oh, no, 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 no. See, this is happening in that group, and this is happening in this thing. They're going to go and come back with a lot of. They're going to come and fight. They're going to do this. So projecting something out of nowhere, is reliving a something which you've gone through in the past.
Okay, so we are predicting something based on our past experiences,
Exactly.
and that's just because of our emotional baggages. That's just because
Exactly.
of the patterns which we have created.
Yes, and we are not ready to let go of it, and we don't know how to let go of it.
So can
Okay,
you?
and
Yeah.
and we can let go of it.
Mhm.
We can let go of it by identifying that, by letting go of the past, by
Okay.
by really letting go of the past, by identifying by being in this. So the victimized mode, if I'm in a victim mode, every time it's going to trigger me. It's like an alarm. Okay, it's like an alarm, always going to trigger me and say, oh, okay, I'm victim, I will be, I'll be hit. Myself, my life experience was that, I was bullied around for many years, and I never knew that there was a lot of impact or agony or the pressure I was carrying in my own life due to that. And I was in a victim mode for a very long time. The moment I realized and did my own inner work, I shifted that pattern. Okay.
Mhm.
And now I'm in awareness of it, and I don't let it come to me. So what is important is that yes, it could be a painful situation, a scenario, but there is a way out. We don't need to live in a victimhood. For some people, victimhood becomes an escapism. For some people, we need to understand victimhood. They are in a victimhood mode because they feel it is a protection for them.
That's a deeper one.
So what is important is to, if they can always sought for help and get rid of this, because this set of beliefs is what carrying their life, what is creating their life, right? So uh, one of the major thing what people are carrying is the victim mode in nowhere. Oh, my mother is not allowing. Like, I was talking to a student, my own cousin. He said, my mother and father is not allowing me to study what I want to study. I don't know. I have given up out of my life and things like that, right? So what is it? It's like, just giving up. So what do we do? It's giving up and feeling that, okay, I'm a victim here, I'm the victim here. And then what happens? Now see the repercussions of it. What is the baggage? This becomes a baggage. What is the repercussion of victim? I study something my parents have told, I have no interest in studying that. Okay, I went, I earned some money for years together, then I'm back to the victim mode, you know and the vicious cycle continues.
That's true.
So one of the biggest baggages that in any perspective. And worthiness issue, the worthiness issue forms the major chunk of all the challenges the person is facing, right? And we can overcome it. We can overcome
And
it.
what are the different ways with which we can overcome those?
uh, See, there are different ways, like, okay, there could be a form of meditation a person can do. A person can do affirmations. Okay, a
You
person
can dive
can.
deeper also. Like, what are the different types of meditation? And what is the part of affirmations which we can do? And
Yeah.
like, what are the different
So
practices you can dive deeper?
so affirmations, okay, affirmation is one thing, okay, but before that you have to let go. So you can do a meditation of, there are a lot of meditation. One of the meditations which has really helped me is the Louise Hay meditation. Okay, the meditations done by Abraham Hicks or Louise Hay, it has really helped me
Hmm.
to let go of my thing. And then of course the the major aspect is doing the energy work.
Yeah.
Okay, that is the prime aspect, right? These are all the additional aspect of it. Okay, but the major thing is the energy work. Okay, to work and clear and shift my belief system. When we shift our belief system, then we can see the whole life in a different perspective altogether. So unless and until you don't, so for imagine, I'll like to give you an example. For example, people have a problem, people
Mhm.
see it in the surface level, and people are running for it, right? For example, people are running, and in the surface level, they're clearing it. Okay, they're fixing it. Imagine, okay, a
Mhm.
problem. Now, what happens? It is like a fire extinguisher, which is a temporary mode. But if the
Mhm.
source, if the root of the problem is not resolved, it's going to surface back. Maybe if you have a problem with people, example, on a certain way, okay, if you don't clear the root of it, you might have fought with somebody and the person would have gone. But in a similar situation, another person will come.
True.
So what needs to change? It is that emotional baggage which you carry,
Yes.
right? So uh, going back to the question, the prime most what I've seen in my life, affirmations, meditations, everything helps, and it balances and maintain us. Okay, hoponopono, all these things
Mhm.
really helps us.
Mhm.
The primary aspect is first doing the belief work, changing the belief,
Mhm.
shifting the belief. When we do the energy work first, then it will shift the whole perspective and it will pave a way towards a much balanced life.
That's great. And as you are into healing space and theta healing also, so first of all, or before going into the concept of what theta healing all about, can you just describe about what is the actual definition of healing, because you are into that space, and if we go for the actual definition through Google and all, so those are different, but when we come to the actual implementation of it, then we understand that yes, this is what it is all about. So can you describe like a small introduction about what is healing, and then we will also go into the theta healing aspect, in which you have actually like you have done a lot of study into it, you have implemented, and you're also getting a lot of results in your own clients and your students. So and how it can also help for us to remove those baggages, remove those beliefs. And as you also mentioned about that pattern of learn, unlearn, and relearn. So how do we do that with the help of healing? Please do go dive deeper into it.
Um, I have a simple definition of healing, and it is like, going back to the source, going back to what we are,
Mm-hmm.
going back to your original self, what we are. As I told you, I started this podcast telling that, okay, these are my identities. Okay, I'm playing a role in that part, as being an energy healer or an instructor or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But that's not my true identity, right? So healing is an aspect of going back to identifying your true self.
Okay.
Okay, and to healing is something to balance your energies in a way. You have to, when our energies are balanced in a way, then the healing happens. Okay, and in simple terms is again, it is the true self. It is your true self, knowing your uh, actual potential, what you are, and none of us are different from that. The potential remains the same for everybody. It is only that what we have chosen to do with it is differs,
That's
right?
great.
So
Mm-hmm.
healing will help you go back and connect with the source. For example, you know that in ages long ago, years ago or eons ago, we know people never used to talk much. People used to telepathically talk. Have you
Yes.
heard about it? Where is it now? Then came a time when uh, people got a house, people got fire, people got more and more advantages, people got more and more benefits. Then people forgot to use those abilities.
Yes.
Okay, so what happened is that people, the DNAs got deactivated in their life, and
Mm-hmm.
then it is not. For example, practice, practice, practice. Right? We hear that.
Yes.
But if you don't practice your telepathic, abilities, what will happen? It will close down, right? And that is what happened. So, in simple terms, what is healing? Healing is your birthright and your original true self.
Without any negative beliefs, without any filtrations, or without any
There
uh,
is, there is,
baggages or all.
there is nothing. There is
Hmm.
nothing,
That's
right?
a great answer.
Yeah.
And this is what healing is all about. What is theta healing? Like the different aspect of it.
Okay, so theta healing is about tapping into the through a meditative process we tap into a theta state. Theta state is a state which happens to you before you go to sleep, or
Mm-hmm.
when you are awake in the morning. The moment the first time you awake in the morning, you go to theta state. When you
Okay.
sleep, you go to delta state, right? So before that is a theta state, and theta state is the state where all the all the shift happens in your thoughts, beliefs, and everything. Okay, so
Mm-hmm.
what we do is that theta healing is a meditative process of tapping into the into your theta state
Mm-hmm.
and working on your belief system to shift things whatever you want in your life.
Yeah.
Okay, so uh, like we have so much of belief, right? Which I spoke about all these different beliefs, and we know that it is tapping. It is impacting us in a way, right?
Mm-hmm.
So when I connect, when I do a meditative process and connect to that theta state, and I'm able to tap into the other person's energies with their permission, okay,
Mm-hmm.
and I'm able to uh, identify it and shift whatever beliefs are required for them or the root cause of all the problems.
That's great.
So when you clear the roots of the plant, you know, it nourishes the whole plant,
Yes.
right? The concept is the same.
That's great. So clear me if I'm wrong anywhere. So healing is the space, like healing is the concept where we are actually getting back to the roots. We are getting back to the real self of us. And theta healing is something when this is the stage, the theta stage is the space where when we are not properly awake, like when we get out of bed in the morning, that moment, and the the stage when we are going to bed, right? So
Exactly.
it's in between that where it's like a thin air where if we do anything in a positive manner, if we want to restructure our beliefs, we can do it, and then we can based on changing those roots, we can change the whole plant.
Exactly. So there's an example I gave you that it's for you to experience what theta state is.
Mm-hmm.
We can at any given point of the day we can tap into our theta state by
Mm-hmm.
going through a certain meditation in the through theta healing.
Mm-hmm.
Tap into the theta state and identify what is my limiting belief and shift it completely. And
And
also manifest whatever you want in your
that's
life,
great.
right? So people want to manifest a lot of things. But why people are not able to manifest is because people have the fear
Uh-huh.
of manifesting it. The first belief, the first thought, what they have is, okay, I'm going to fail.
Yes, the fear one.
Yeah. So when we tap into the theta state, okay, we are with the highest vibrational energy space.
Mm-hmm.
And then we are intuitively getting the messages and we're able to shift and change everything for people's life. And it depends upon the person, how much ever the person is open to receive the healing or not, right? So
Mm-hmm.
that's how I prep up my clients always. It's not mandatory as such in theta healing, but I do that now when I do with my clients.
Mm-hmm. So it's like if we follow theta healing, like from point A to point Z,
Yeah,
then we can achieve the results even in a faster way. And it's not having any fixed span that within 1 month, within 2 months, or within 6 months, you'll be able to remove those beliefs and get back to your manifestation stage. It depends completely on our own efforts and how clear are we
yes,
and how much we want to heal ourselves. Is that clear?
exactly,
Like, is that?
exactly. So how much open are you and how much determined are you, right?
Mm-hmm.
So the important fact is, they say that fake it until you
Fake
make
it
it.
till you make it. Yeah.
No, I don't believe in that. I believe faith it until you make it.
Okay. Can you repeat it again?
Faith,
Faith.
faith,
Faith
faith
it.
until you make it. Which means that if when I constantly connect, if I want to achieve a certain thing or something is really troubling me a lot, okay,
Mm-hmm.
the first thing I do is when something is troubling me, I slow down myself and go to that go to the theta state, okay, and connect with that energy to shift that belief. What is causing me? Then it is giving me, I'm able to see what is happening, where is this belief coming from, which is creating me that problem.
That's true.
Okay, and I shift it, right? So one of the common beliefs I've seen is that between men and women, the parity between men and women. Men are not equal to women, women are not equal to men, and stuff like that. Due to this, I've seen so much of beliefs
Massive.
majorly women were carrying. So yeah, that's how it works. And that is one way of conveying theta healing, but it is the very simplest form. What I found for me, I want things very quick, very instantly. And I don't want, I can't, I'm not a ritualistic guy. Okay, so theta healing helped me to be in this space, in this room, and connect with any energy, first of all my own energy, and shift whatever. And I've seen my shift happening in 2-3 minutes.
That's great.
Completely. Okay. uh, yes, and what is important is that when you continue to do it, when you continue to work on your belief system, you will you will be able to understand after a point of time that what was it really. So you will strengthen your intuitive abilities, right? Like practicing that, and then you'll be able to identify and be in awareness of whatever is happening in your life.
That's true. Right. So I want the honest answer to this. As we are discussing about the healing part, and even this is the answer which I was waiting for, is that do everybody requires the healing process? Like as you mentioned about the belief part. So let's assume if I am the person who is working upon their belief since last 6 months, 1 year, and it's like let's assume I'm working since last 3 years, honestly speaking. So if I have healed my past, if I've healed my past and now I'm tuning my energy to manifest the things and I'm getting those results also. So do we need to heal ourselves during the process also? I want the honest answer on this.
Yes, the honest answer is healing is your birthright, and healing is a very natural process which we need. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
you're working throughout the day. You go and sleep. Why do you sleep? You heal the best when you sleep. What happens to people who don't sleep
Okay.
properly?
Okay. So you mean if a person is getting a proper sleep,
That's
they
also healing. That's also healing.
okay. So that is also a part of healing.
Yes, that's also
Okay.
healing.
Mm-hmm.
When you listen to when you listen to a music you love the most, that is also healing.
Okay.
When you connect to a friend and having a soulful discussion, that is also healing.
Okay.
So everybody is struggling, striving towards something, putting their effort. You're going to the group. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
what happens when you're in a group? You attract, your energy is that. Imagine that you have a very joyful energy, but when you go in a group, there are energies of different kinds. You go and attract them. It
Yes.
naturally you get attracted to them. So, but when you come back, what happens? Sometimes you feel, oh, very low,
Yes.
very high. Sometimes also, sometimes very,
Sometimes. Yeah. Sometimes even more hyper.
exactly, hyper.
Yeah.
So, and every time we are thinking, hearing, listening, and it is going through our subconscious.
Mm. That's true.
Everything we do, whatever is happening. Okay. So, what happens is that when we come back and have a discipline of sitting and doing one thing constantly, then we will heal and clear our parts or that energy which is not required for us.
Damn. That's a great answer.
If you don't do that, what happens? Building up, building up, building up, building up. And then
Mm-hmm.
it will be there somewhere. Where is it stored? It is stored in your body.
Okay.
And then it will show up itself,
In the form of diseases or anything else.
anything.
Okay. So correct me if I'm wrong here. Let's assume I'm going to any of the place where my friends are there or somebody. Let's assume there are strangers also. if I'm meeting them, now let's take two examples. The right hand, it's the positive energy. I'm going to something which is completely positive, and second is the space which is completely negative, right? So I am the kind of person. Let's assume there are a lot of audience. Let's assume everybody has healed themselves through their belief, through their past conditioning and all, and now we are going to the positive events. So what will shift once we go to that positive event? As you mentioned that once we get rubbed through that energy, if it is not resonating with ours, if it is not healing us, and if we are doing the work in a disciplined manner, let's assume doing the podcast, this is discipline for me. And even I do heal myself with the help of doing podcasts and interacting with people. So at that instance of time, if that out of that positive energy also, if something is not required, that will automatically get removed.
Right.
And similarly for the negative also, let's assume from that whole event, if one individual was positive, the one interaction was positive, rest were completely negative. So I'll take that energy with me after the event. But when I go to the disciplined part of me, when I do the work, I'll automatically start healing myself. Is that correct? Or maybe you can just change it.
Yeah. So the discipline part is that, okay, one is that, what happens when you're angry, when you're annoyed, when you're agitated.
Yeah.
So
We get angry.
I refer to here when you're talking about a place where you say
Mm-hmm.
it's negative, somebody is either complaining,
Yes.
grumbling, competitive,
Mm-hmm.
criticism,
Yes.
regret,
Yes.
resentment, rejections, or some form of revenge, which is creating that energy
Yes.
to that. Or you're on the other side where people are talking about how to help each other, or they're
Joy,
spreading,
enlightenment, purpose.
they're spreading some form of love, camaraderie,
Mm.
protection, or something. You see the energies, these are all two different energies.
Yes.
Okay, the vibrations of them are different.
Yeah.
One's vibration is very low, the other's vibration is very high.
Mm.
Okay, so if you the Tesla, what did the Tesla say? Tesla say that if you want to know the secret of the universe, okay, think in terms of frequency,
Energy.
vibrations, and energy,
Yes. Frequency, vibrancy, and energy.
right? And this is what is the secret,
Mm.
right? So when you've gone now, what is happening is when you've gone to this other way, which is negative part,
Mm-hmm.
okay, you're tapping into some kind of an energy, and you are feeling it negative. Why? Because it has triggered you in some form,
Mm. True.
right? So what is the thing? You keep it. So if you come back and just keep it like that, what happens? It adds up. It adds up. It adds up. So you need healing there. You
Yes.
need to shift that, right? And here you found something really good,
Mm-hmm.
and it's a healing itself, right? So this is one example, right? It could be uh, healing. Uh, this is one example, and it could be healing in different forms, right? Healing the disease, healing uh, a lot of things. Majorly the disease also can be healed. What is the reason for the disease? Why this holding up point? What is happening is a psychosomatic,
Mm-hmm.
psycho and somatic, soma, the body, the mind body, and
Mm-hmm.
it is what is leading to all this disease. So healing is required rather than painting up everything together and you hold up to it and then you blast one day. Rather than doing that, when you come back and have a discipline of healing, then you let go then and there,
Mm-hmm.
where you will always vibrate higher.
That's true.
But if you hold this energy of heaviness always in you, WB, you'll always feel heavy.
Mm.
And that is different. So don't you think healing is required there?
Yes, absolutely. Right. And I've observed this one single thing amongst all the healers, whether it is through Hope Nope No, whether it is through EFT tapping, or whether it is through Theta healing also, or even if it's through any other kind of meditation processes, is that the trainers and coaches specifically focus on one-on-one coaching, like one-on-one mentorship, so that they can heal the other person. So can you just describe, let's assume there are hundreds and thousands of people, those who are watching this podcast, and they just want to get the basic steps. Like let's assume this is like a healing session, and I want to get healed from you. So what are the different steps you take me through, so like, so that audience can understand that yes, this is what we are going to go through, and if they're interested, then they can also go through the healing process.
Yeah. So what happens is, okay, one comparison between why one-on-one versus the group,
Yeah.
right? Simply what happens is that, we can deal with a common problem, like say money manifestation
Mm.
or general well-being or something. We can do that in a group. But when it comes to one-on-one, maybe not everybody will open up in a group. Okay, it is a common set of whatever we are doing,
Yeah.
but when it comes to one-on-one, what happens is that the person will open up the deepest
Yes.
of the thing which is hidden, which the person himself or herself doesn't know. So it creates a space for the person, okay, to open up, to
Mm.
connect, and to be in that state, uh, and bring out the deepest, uh, you know,
Deepest root cause.
root cause of the problem,
Mm.
or whatever the person has to resolve. So it
Mhm.
helps, and the person wants to be confidential.
Yeah, that's true.
So that could be the reason. So the step is simple. What I do is, this is not what I do is I prep up. What I've seen or believed is, that the more a person is open to healing, the more the person will get healed.
Okay, repeat it again.
The more the person is open to healing, the more
Mhm.
the healing will happen to him or her.
Okay, so this is almost similar to the abundance also. The more things we are grateful for, the more things that we will get to be grateful for. So similar is for healing also. The more we heal ourselves, the more,
The more we are open to healing.
yeah, the more we are open to heal, the more we will heal ourselves.
Exactly, exactly.
Mm-hmm.
So what happens is that, sometimes I take instant clients, and sometimes what I do is that I prep up my clients. I talk to the clients. The client tell me about their problems, what they have, what is the reason for what they want healing and everything, and
Mm-hmm.
accordingly I send them a set of meditation and affirmations to do. I channel certain affirmations for them and meditations to do.
Mm-hmm.
uh, what happens is, this process after 3 or 4 days, I can see the difference immediately, when the person has come to me after the 3 or 4 days. So
Yeah.
I know the difference between when the person spoke to me versus when the person is open. The person is coming with more high expectation, and also, this person is open to healing. What happens
That's true.
is, so after the 3 days, the healing happens. In the healing session, as I told you, through a meditative process, I take the person along, through the meditative process, in the theta state, and then we do a process called uh, digging.
Mm-hmm.
Digging leads to the core of the problem, and then whatever shift needs to be done, we shift it. We replace the belief systems. We also download the belief systems. What does it mean? Imagine a person who has been abused from the childhood. Does the person know the meaning of joy or happiness? Then we give some downloads. And when we give the downloads, that receptors opens up in the person.
That's
And
true.
when the receptors opens up in the person, then the person will start feeling it. Oh yes, this is happiness and joy. And so a session is given, so it goes in the flow. Uh, the session goes anywhere between 45 minutes to 1.5 hours. Okay. And this is just a kind of process, uh, what I've told you, but it differs from a person to person, from life to life. And
Like,
then,
as human beings are unique, so everybody has their uh,
exactly,
unique
exactly,
beliefs which needs to be resolved.
exactly. All they have all different types of belief they come up
Yeah.
with, right?
Mm-hmm.
So it could be 45 minutes, 30. Some have resolved in 30 minutes also, or some have resolved between 1.5 hours to 2 hours max. No, it doesn't touch 2 hours much. 1.5 hours is an average, where I've seen. And the healing session happen. And what happens is that we have a follow up thing also, right? The follow up thing is after. I recommend, it is not really it's just a recommendation that you do 2 3 sessions in constant intervals, so that you reap more and more benefit out of it. But there is no hard and fast rule. A person can even do only 1 session and
Mm,
stop it.
mm. Okay, so it means like if we are willing to change ourselves, if we are willing to change the whole life of us, and we want to heal ourselves, so one healing session itself is absolutely okay to kickstart.
Yes. So what has happened is, the other aspect of this is, that, okay, maybe a person who's trapped with a certain thing. Okay, for example, I'll tell you, um, and I also wanted to convey a message to men also.
Mm-hmm.
Message. But before that, I want to say that 80% of my clients are women. 80 to 85% of my clients are women. And what happens is that I've seen challenges like, a person who is suicidal, okay, has come to me, and in 2 sessions, the person's that suicidal thought went away for it.
Great.
Okay, women, women who have come with problems of the periods and everything, of different things, okay,
Mm-hmm.
has also got resolved in many ways, right? So that is one example. Many other things have got resolved. There is no limit to say that what kind of problems will get resolved. Any kind of problems can get resolved.
Mm-hmm.
What is important is that what do you do after the healing? Now,
Yes.
if we have gone to the root and we have changed the root,
Mm.
we have changed your identity to say,
Yes.
okay. Now, what do you do with the identity? You go back and crib again, or are you going to shift the way you are doing things? Are you breaking the habit of being you and shifting, or are you going to be the similar way? That will define or see how consistently the healing will continue to work.
That's great. So even after the healing process, whatever work we are gonna do,
It's
that
very,
also depends.
yeah,
That also matters the most.
yes, very much. Or you're going to go and patch up again fill it up.
Mm-hmm.
Again, what will you do? Again fill it up. Again you're holding up, and you know that what happens. So it's very important. So I make it, for my clients, I make it pre also, like as I told you, 3 day stuff,
Yes.
right, before the healing. But post that also, I give the same guidance to people, that after that also, it's very important for you to maintain yourself. Then you can't, if you go back to the same ways, and then you say, okay, you're also again filling up the same bottle with the garbage, right?
Yes.
So it's like that.
That's true.
And
And
sometimes, again, it depends upon the energy of the person, right? How much of energy a person can take, a shift a person can take in 1 session, right?
mm,
If a
yes.
person can't take too much of shift, we understand it, and then that's why we recommend that after a week or two you come back,
Mm-hmm.
so that one more session we can do, and then you can take it forward.
Okay. So even in that particular span, you can understand whether that particular person is getting disciplined with the positive part of life, or getting back to the normal life that was negative one.
Yeah. So what I do is, I also tell my clients that, okay, if you have any questions after the call, after the
Mm-hmm.
session, please come back to me and let me know if you're stuck in somewhere, or
Mm-hmm.
something is triggering you or something. Just come back to me. Let me know about it. Okay. And then some of them come back and they tell me, and then I guide them through what is required to be done.
Mm-hmm.
Right. So that maintenance part is also very important.
Mm. That's great.
Right. So imagine that today you have understood that you have become a king. What happens after that? Okay. You become a king, you can't go back to sleep.
Yes.
Okay, you have to rule the world, right? So before ruling the world, you have to rule your own self.
Mm.
That's important, right?
Mm.
The whole healing aspect is about me, and the benefit I get from me. One of the biggest benefit is I always heal myself also constantly, right, when I'm healing others.
Yes, that's true. And even this is what I've observed, that by healing other people and by raising other people's vibrations, we can also raise our in a subconscious level itself. And
Exactly.
right now we have discussed a lot about the healing aspects and other things. Now I want to shift some gears to your personal life as well. And before getting to the personal life, I want to ask you can just give it in the form of statement itself. Like, what are the top 3 or 5 books which you would like to uh, which you would like to recommend to the people, those who want to understand about theta healing or specifically healing or any other part also? Like, how do we reframe our belief? Anything like 3 to 5 books, or maybe podcast also.
Uh, yeah, so I would recommend if you want to know about theta healing, read Theta Healing book, Introduction to Theta Healing,
Mm-hmm.
and there's a book called Advanced Theta Healing. Uh,
Okay.
that's there, and and also a lot of books on Joe Dispenza. It helps to understand and relates. It complements the healing. Actually, I've
Uh-huh.
seen that. So,
Okay.
if you want to know about this, it is these two plays a very very important book for you to understand about everything. It does not only talk about what is theta healing, but it also talks about what are the different kinds of beliefs you might be carrying, what could be the challenges, how it can be resolved, and stuff like
Mm-hmm.
that. So it really helps. And the other part of what I do, which you spoke about, Sahil, is the instructor, being an instructor,
Yes.
right? So what I do is that I am what I believe is the future is, and what I believe is that everybody needs to be a self healer. Everybody.
Everybody needs to be a self healer.
Yes, every individual needs to be a self healer. Then the person will be able to identify or manage their energy well. Okay. So what happens is in our childhood, from the childhood, what is being taught to us? A matter has been taught to us. Matter. What is matter? Matter is something we can see,
The physical sense,
physical sense. So what has been not taught to us much is the energy.
internal self.
But what we need to understand is that a set of energy together becomes a matter,
Yes, true.
right? So what about that energy? Okay. So the unseen forces, the unseen things, right? And that is what is driving us. Can you see your breath?
Absolutely not.
Is it driving us? Is it
Yes.
keeping us alive? So it's like that. So what is important us is to, if we learn the art of this healing, is the art of healing is balancing, how you balance your energies, how you're in awareness of things, how you can use your intuitive ability to see through things what others are not able to.
Mm,
This will help you a lot of energy for yourself, and it will also help you a lot, not only for yourself, eventually for your family also.
that's
So
great.
the future is every life needs to become a self healer, and
Heal
it's
themselves and eventually raise the vibrations of their overall environment.
exactly complete thing. What you are made up of energy, and if you
Mm-hmm.
don't know how to deal with the energy,
Mm-hmm.
that is the problem.
That's
Okay,
great.
so what I do is I teach energy healing. It happens. It's online. It happens online.
Yeah.
All my healings happen virtual. Some clients come in physical. A lot of all the healing happens in virtual to the thing,
Mm-hmm.
and even the classes happen virtually.
Mm-hmm.
Sometimes it can also happen physically, but all the classes happen. What we do is that there is a course called Basic DNA and then the Advanced DNA. So each of them are 4 days and 3 days, and there are different seminars that happen where we uh, teach about everything, from the basics of energy, how to deal with the belief systems, how to work on the belief systems, how to dig, where you can deal with it, what is it,
Mm-hmm.
and in that process, your massive healing is happening. It's like going to a coal mine and clearing it, gold mine and clearing it. It's like that,
That's
and
amazing.
and then so what happens is you experience and you understand the way of doing it, right? And then now at any point of life, right? Physical, emotional, spiritual, any aspect of it, at any walks of your life, you'll be able to deal with it.
Yes,
You'll be
true.
able to manage it. Rather than dealing it, you'll manage it. That's it.
Hmm. Yes, because even I feel that a lot of people think that right now I'm not facing this problem, then why should I invest my time in learning this? But I feel, because since last 3 years I've observed this thing, that if you if you just start learning about different things, you'll get the clarity that this is what happens. These are the first symptoms. This is what we go through, and that's how we heal ourselves. That's how we get the result. Because we don't know at what instance of life whether it is required for us or for our family members or for somebody else as well. So even that was also a breakthrough moment for me, and that was like the professional life part of you. Right now, we are getting back to the personal life of yours. The first question which I would like to ask is, can you describe about, maybe it could be a short also, can you describe a bit about your best and the worst moment of life so far?
Okay, so to say that the best moment of my life at this point is this moment.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing is it's unique, it's different, it's
Mm-hmm.
interesting.
Yes, that's great.
And what's the worst moment is something which I'm appreciating now, because that worst moment led to what I'm doing today.
That's great.
Okay, and the different worst moment was then, but now when I look back, that is not a worst moment.
Mm, that's
And there were a lot of rejection or a lot of cheating or a lot of things that has happened in the past.
mm-hmm.
Actually, now I'm grateful to them, and I send them unconditional love.
That's
You know,
true.
so I don't see any situation as such where I can say, okay, there is something, considering in the present situation.
So this is the best answer in terms of best and worst moment which I've got so far. So thank you so much for sharing that. The second question which I would like to ask about, because as I'm into money part, so what's the actual definition of money according to you at a personal level? As you are a healer, as you're an
Yeah.
instructor, so as
So,
you raise, as you deal in the terms of energy. So what's the definition of money according to you?
as you said, money is a form of energy.
Yeah.
Money is also a form of energy.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Uh, you talk to somebody, it's an energy. You cook something, it's an energy. With what intensity your mother is cooking, you are cooking, it is an energy. Money, like that, money is also a form of energy. When somebody is giving you water, okay, with what intensity the water is coming to you, that water holds the energy.
Mm-hmm. That's
Like
true.
money is also a form of energy exchange.
Energy exchange.
Exactly. So what is important is that if money is a form of energy exchange, and if you want to balance out, then you will have need to have an abundance mindset. What do you mean by abundance mindset here? Imagine that if you want more money, but if you have a belief money is the root cause of all the evil,
Then you're not gonna get.
your friend and tell you are the root cause of all the evil, will your friend come to you?
Absolutely not.
If you treat the money like that, the money is not going to come to us. Money is the root cause of all the problems. Money is the root cause of all the thing. If I have too much of money, the god will punish me. Okay, and money leads to okay, rich people are arrogant. So we carry all that beliefs maybe from our childhood or wherever we are. So if we shift this form of energy beliefs,
Mm-hmm.
then we can create a shift in the receiving the money. Go on a date with money.
That's true.
Go on a date. So what is the best way to do it in simple terms is uh, to maybe imagine that you're going on a date with money. Okay, imagine money is a form of energy. Everybody is a form of energy, right? So money is a form of energy. Imagine that, ask the money, do you would like to come for a date with me?
Mm,
Go and have a dialogue with the money. What are you telling? And listen what the money is telling. Money will tell you what do you feel about it, and
that's
can
true.
you have a proper dialogue. Okay, so in this process will also shift your belief with the mind.
Mm.
So
Even I think at this instance of time, a lot of people will think that what foolish activity this is, but this is what I did 1.5 years back, and it shifted way, the whole way about how I used to think about money. So go
yeah,
ahead with it. Yeah.
yeah. So it has shifted. It was also taught to be by one of my teachers, and it has really shifted the way. And then apart from that, this thing, the money is the root cause of all the evil. This belief we shifted, that
Mm-hmm.
money is a form of energy exchange. So we need to understand that money is only the byproduct and will always be a byproduct. Money is not the purpose of life, right? It may look cliche when I say this, money is not the purpose of life, right?
That's
But
true.
I just want to reiterate the point that money is not the purpose of life. Money is also a form of exchange.
Yes.
Like the way you want your friends, your family, the work, you also need the money. Money doesn't take the center point. The choice is yours. Still, again, the choice is what people want, right? So when you see that and continue to work on your abundance mindset, then everything will flow to you.
That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. And that's again a very great answer which I've got so far about money part also. And as you mentioned that like one hint which you gave during the podcast itself, that you are expecting that in this world everybody should be a self healer.
Yeah.
So this is one of the questions which I do ask to all the guests is that what are the different set of changes which you are expecting in 5 to 10 years down the line in your own industry of healing in terms of theta healing and self healing?
Yeah. So now the world is shifting from the world is shifting towards a lot of healing. People have started understood. People have got interested towards spirituality,
Yes.
towards healing,
Hmm.
everything. People want to. The holistic is becoming a part of every life, which was not earlier.
Yes.
You know, holistic has become a part of everything. Okay.
Hmm.
So what I see is that more and more people individually experiencing and learning this and applying in life. You know,
Hmm.
that is one thing I see. Another thing I see is, as I told you about, a lot of frequency a lot of frequency kind of medicines are going to come in.
Frequency medicine.
Frequency based medicine.
Hmm.
You know, vibration and frequency based medicines are going to come in, which in some form of a device or whatever might come in, and it might also help people. And then, you know, a lot of new modalities will come in. Like, this is one of the simplest modality because it just connected me to the source back, right? It was
Yes.
the simplest of thing. What do we need? We can't go back like ages back and sit and meditate for hours together, become sannyasi, leave our family. But you can be a saint being at home.
Yes. That's true.
Ask my wife; she will tell you about that. You know. So the point is that uh, the future of healing is every life understanding it, applying it, and there are going to be all of much more simplest ways of modalities that are going to come in. And one of the simplest ways of modalities is theta, you know, which is just connecting you back to the thing.
To the root cause of who you are.
Yeah,
To the root cause of who you are as a person.
exactly. Yeah, the root cause of it. Yeah,
Yeah. The actual roots of the plant. That's great.
exactly.
Yeah. And the very last question which I would like to ask is that any last advice for the youngsters, those who are in the age of 20, because I'm also, currently I'm 21. So any advice for the youngsters, those who are in their 20s, mid 20s also, and
Yeah.
for the people, those who are in the age of 30 or maybe 30 plus? Go for it.
Um, okay. First of all, I would like to start by appreciating you, Sahil, for the work you're doing, for the energy you hold, for the space you hold. So, what is important for the youth is that when uh, choose what you really want to do, and if you don't have the clarity, you know, take the required help. Okay, by seeking help, it's your life, but maybe a help and an idea and a thought can shift your life completely.
Yeah.
You know, so what I believe is that don't hold back yourself, and it's okay to fail. Nobody is teaching the benefits of failing.
Hmm.
There are a lot of benefits of failing where your mind is considering that it is a failure. I stepped down from my own company, being a co-founder. It's not a failure for me. It was a certain learning lesson for me, which has led me to what I am today.
Yeah. That's true.
You know, so uh, my advice, my this a thought is that, you know, that please learn how to manage your energies, how to balance your physical, emotional, spiritual energies, and there need not be anything defined. Spirituality and religion are two different things. Spirituality is just tapping out your highest and the truest potential. So when you go and learn about it and base that as a form of your life, the cause you create will reap the required effect. But if your cause is
at the base.
coming up from, like a stimulus, like a horror, then the repercussion will also be like that. So my advice is that please go back and learn about energy. Very important for every life. And this is, I'm not telling you this because I'm into energy healing, but I've seen the whole difference in whoever has also learned, my students, and how it has shaped their own life, right? So my thing is that, and one more point I wanted to share is that I wanted to tell men that it's okay and please be open to healing.
Yes.
It's okay to be vulnerable.
Mm.
Uh, it's okay to open up to a life and share and be healed. It's okay to do so. It will only help you heal and create much better value for your own life. So, men, please do that. I've seen a lot of, in the experience I've seen, that there's a lot of resistance that comes from men when they say healing. They, the healing is not a thing. Healing is a spiritual sense
That's true.
in simple terms. So please be open and yeah. So that is what it is.
That's great. And anything last at the end which you would like to add for the audience?
Yeah. So I would like to tell that the so every choices you make in your life can create whatever you would want to do. Okay. So just be open to it. If you're not able to see through something, then seek help, and it's okay to seek help and connect with people. Maybe one shift or jump which you're taking to seek that help might shift or make you achieve your own goals in a much simpler way rather than suffering. Suffering is a choice. You don't need to suffer.
Great. That's the best one which I've got so far.
Okay? Suffering is a choice which you don't need to suffer. And you suffer. Buddha said, you suffer until you know that there is no need of suffering.
That's a great one.
Okay? So the choice is yours. And you can create a life out of this completely. Okay?
That's a
And how you see, so when you change your belief system, the way you see your challenges, hurdles, problems, and everything in life will have a complete shift.
that's a great one. Right. So with that, thank you so much, Swaminathan sir, for being on our podcast show. It was an honor for me, and I hope that audience has also got immense value from this particular podcast by investing almost more than an hour by learning about what healing is all about, what are the different set of emotions which we go through since the day we are born, the three C's and four R's. Even I'm going to go through this podcast once again. And the profound statement, the most profound statement was which you made at the end of this podcast. So that was also a great one. And once again, thank you so much. And it was an honor for me that you were on this podcast show in the form of guest. And hopefully in future, we are also going to bring you on once again. Maybe in that particular podcast, we will discuss specifically about theta healing and other experiences also.
Thank you. Thank you so much for having me, Sahil. It's a deep gratitude to you, to the people it's going to reach.
Yeah,
Okay. And I'm grateful that for creating that form of space for people. What you're doing an amazing job. I'm thankful.
yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much.
Once again, thank you so much for watching this particular episode till the end. And I hope that now you're absolutely clear about what is healing, why healing is important, and are you ready to heal yourself? Are you ready to heal your overall environment so that you can also raise your energy? You can also raise your vibrations, and ultimately you can reach to the goals which you want to achieve into your life, and many more things as well. And please do make sure that whatever breakthrough moments you had from this particular episode, that you can take snapshot, you can take all the lessons, you can note it down, and you can tag Swaminathan. I have shared all the social handles, his website, and all his programs in the description box below. So please do make sure that you check out all his programs if you want to be a part of his community. And along with that, please do make sure that you're tagging him, you're tagging me on Instagram with all your breakthrough moments. You can take snapshots of this particular podcast as well. And looking forward to see you in the next episode of this beautiful series of the Achievers Club podcast show. Till then, live fully, love openly, and make the difference today. I wish you joy and abundance in all you do.